That's up and running now. A few improvements every day with this setup. I've got a more natural light setup now. Welcome to Start Building Me, folks. As always, my daily concept that 1, exercise is mandatory, and 2, consistency is power. So the more you consistent are, the more consistent you are with your exercise, the better your life gets. It's just a fact. And as I said, a very clever, I believe he was a plasma engineering professor, electrical engineer, basically said you cannot argue with facts. And that resonated with me, and it's very true. You cannot argue with facts. Health is life, and with poor health, you have a lesser quality of life. It's that simple. Just waiting for people to join the chat. I know a few people are watching tonight, including my mother and my uncle, which is quite cool. Just waiting for Jazz. Ben in the house, that's cool. Ben Davis. My mum is watching this stream tonight. My uncle and my mum are just like, oh, I want to watch tonight. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Anyway, we'll keep it short and sweet tonight. Just waiting for Jared Jazzercise Metal Rooster Woodcock to get into the house. Maybe he's here. If not, we're just going to do some squats without him. And as always, banging on again and again, folks, to explain to you that exercise is mandatory. It should be fun. As I was speaking to a friend in Canada today, and he was saying PE ruined exercise for him as a kid, and it's so true. You have these total midwits, and that's put very, very politely, who run PE departments at schools and really, you know, glorify the Adonis, you know, males who play sport and females. Hey Jazz, good to see you. And neglect everybody else and make them wish that there was no such thing as exercise and sport. I'm trying to engage that neuroplasticity, as it's called, to take people away from the horrible experiences they had at the youth, or if you're a youth, take you away from it right now and get you into the habit of exercise. It should be fun, it should be quick, it should be easy, and then you're back at playing video games, watching girls sell bubble bath to you in small bottles, and you watching somebody else play video games when you could be playing video games yourself. Doesn't make sense to me, folks, but I'm a 40-year-old boomer. What can I say? I get my jollies on motorcycles, folks. So it looks like everyone's here. Speaking of motorcycles, after my hiatus from breaking my pelvis back, 3rd degree AC ligament separation in my hand, I've been riding my motocross bike again. And I think it's funny, Ben and Jazz, you will like this one. When I'll be riding and I'll be feeling it, and I'll be getting it going, and then I'll start hearing like Cowboys from Hell intro at the start, you know, and I'll be like, whoa, slow down, call it a night. It's time to go. Anyway, speaking of time to go, I'll put my functional strength training on, and let's try and get some heart rate up. I'll always explain it to you folks. What we're doing is, imagine you're sitting down on a chair and standing back up, or catching a massive gnarly wave, bro, you know, something like that. Anyway, the Pantera speedometer, totally, or the sanity speedometer, as I see it. It's either that or like helmet mean time or something like that, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, no, don't want to break my pelvis again. Anyway, sit down on a chair, stand back up. Sit down on the chair, down, back up. You should really be able to, as we talked about, Ben, to grease the groove. Really get this motion down so it feels coordinated. So it's not just you sagging like one of those, you know, dolls, statues that you press on the bottom and they sort of collapse and erect back again. Like, it's just like you should have a bit more control and coordination over your movement, folks. So if you've got a seat, that's a good place to sit, a good place to start, folks. So what you want to do is sit down on the chair and stand back up. Everyone can do that. That's unconscious competence in the 4 stages of competence, right? You don't know, you're not thinking about it, but you know you can sit down, you can stand back up. So that's all you have to do. If you've never squatted before, that's cool. All you have to do is sit down on a chair or a stool, edge of your bed, wherever you are now, stand back up, and guess what? You did more squats than you've probably done yesterday, unless you were here, of course, doing the right thing, which is mandatory training, folks. Should be fun, should be quick, should be easy. And then, like I said, you can go back and spend crypto on bubble bath from some ethos. You crazy, crazy kids. I will not understand the younger generation. That's why I'm just trying to lure them in from Twitch and Facebook and YouTube to try and, you know, improve your own character. So like a MMORPG like World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Dota, why not build your own character, as in yourself, because the game doesn't upgrade and it stays with you for life, so you may as well, you know, get to a level 99 warlock or something. Anyway, let's get some numbers out here. We're 2 minutes and I'm only 78 BPM. So that's a total waste of time. Sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up. Now, you want to get a cadence that works for you folks. So as I always say, for now, breathing is still free. So never forget to stop breathing. That's the biggest novice mistake, is that you stop breathing, you just seize up and stop breathing. So what you want to do is breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Every time you're cycling that breath through, you're reoxygenating your blood that will be required from doing this action. Now, since we've got some old folks in here that are even older than me, kids, believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe, but they will understand my age-old analogy that I use here of a bellows. We're like a bellows, or a more modern example would be like a Harley-Davidson V-twin air pump. But nonetheless, like a bellows. What we're just trying to do is pump the blood through, increase your blood pressure, increase your heart rate. It's a cyclical nature in life, the sinusoidal curve, right? The rise and fall, ebb and flow, 1 and 0, duality, folks. People say there's no binary. Well, as a computer scientist, I can tell you there is binary. Whether or not it applies to whatever construct you're talking about is irrelevant. Binary logic exists. Binary logic makes the world go around. So, sit down, stand up. The more you end up doing this, the more you'll feel the slingshot action that feels like there's a rubber band connected to your knee, going through your butt, up to your lower back, and it's tight now, and it will pull you back up. It's tight at the bottom, and it will pull you back up. It's only when you get that coordination, folks, that you'll feel that. And if you don't, like I said, you're just that collapsing doll that just crumbles in on its own weight. And look, I try to be positive, but I've got to put the hard words on you folks. If you cannot, in a coordinated fashion, support your weight under gravity, I would say that's a pretty dire thing, right? It's like something that people really take for granted is basic coordination, folks. So I really, really want to drum it into that, you know, for the time that we can just spend doing this during the day and breathing, you're listening to my crazy rhetoric about the lizard people controlling global banks and the inevitable collapse that means you're going to have nothing. And so you'll have plenty of time to train with me here, Dave, on startbuilding.me, which is perfect, right? So let the lizard people take over the world. You'll be working in their spice mines. Enjoy that. Until then, squat. So, as always, I'll explain the process. I used to do a whole bunch of other exercises and joint mobility drills in here, but I don't really bother anymore because people really need to nail the fundamentals, and the fundamental is body weight goes down, body weight goes up. You're sitting back into your heels. The weight is going to the outside of your feet. That's why you have an arch in your foot, right? The weight doesn't go to the inside of your foot. That's why on my dirty garage feet, that part doesn't come in contact with the ground. Now, if you've got flat feet, it does. Lizard people. Yeah, praying mantis race. That's right. See, Jazz knows, you know. He'll be up in the hierarchy when it comes to spice mining. Maybe we'll be the guys who get to whip the other humans that are insubordinate. That would be good. So, weight goes to the outside of your feet. You're digging your toes in. Your toes are like fingers. They have evolved to be useless through shoes, but before that, if you look at Indonesian people, African people, they've still got dexterity in their feet because they usually don't wear shoes, or if they do, they wear sandals, or a lot of the time, culturally, if they do wear shoes, then they take them off when they get home and stuff, and it's just something that we haven't done in the West so much that Asia and the East and Africa does a lot more than us. Anyway, we have no dexterity in our toes, so we want to try and get some of that back. So do this barefoot. Powerlifters and Olympic lifters, a lot of them train barefoot because you're sending a message to your brain, folks, through your feet that I'm about to do something that requires coordination, tension, strength, brain power, a bunch of things going together. So line up your toes on an imaginary line, or maybe if you're doing it on tiles or carpets with pattern, there will actually be a line there. Chuck a bit of a ruler down, or a bit of wood, or a box or something like that to line your toes up. That what that means is that when you're actually squatting and your toes are aligned, you're not going to twist like that. A big mistake people make when they're squatting is they twist when they're doing squats. You don't want to do that. That's why you line up your toes, weight's going to the outside of your feet. You're sitting back into your heels. Your arm comes out to stop yourself falling back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, there's a lot to consider in all these things. And that's the issue with the novice. I'm learning to play golf at the moment. I mean, I used to play golf, but like 20 years ago or 15 years ago, and I haven't played a long time. It's a simple thing to do, to swing a stick, right? But you're coordinating all these things, keeping your head down, keeping your arms straight, keeping the face of the club towards a position where you're going to hit it with the correct side of the face. It's moving the weight from the front to the back to the front foot again, and twisting through with follow through, just like a punch that has follow through on your leg as well. So you're considering all this stuff at once. So the best thing about squats is until you get to that, weight goes down, weight goes up, weight goes down, weight goes up. It's like Homer Simpson stuff. Everyone can do it. Whether or not they want to do it is irrelevant. But like I said, if you want to start with this and start with walking, it will enrich your life. There are a few guarantees in life, folks. But one, without question, is that exercise will improve the quality of your life in so many ways that, like I said, if you Google it, Google will reach out of the computer and slap your face and say, "What do you think, you idiot?" Of course, you have to exercise, like brushing your teeth, sleeping, drinking water. It's mandatory. It's not a choice, and that's why you should take a step back, forget PE, forget the athletes, forget whatever spandex-clad idiots that are on Instagram, peddling their elixirs and, spandex products, whatever garbage it is. All you need is time, folks, and a room like my fabulous virtual Maroubra studio taken from my old balcony. This is all you need, folks. And after walking, the reason why this is such a cool supplement to walking is because it's coordinating and strengthening all the ligaments, joints, tendons, everything that you need for walking. Your lower back, your quadriceps, your hip flexors, your glutes, your hamstrings, even the support from, like I said, spreading the weight to the outside of your feet and sitting down. Everything is going to be something that helps you for walking, and something that you should be able to do like this, just like people do push-ups or chin-ups. It's funny to see how poor they are on this, as I said last night, the Z-axis. Think of that. Everybody's great with X and Y and terrible with Z. You've got to be comfortable in that dominion. Also, I watched the recent the Hellraiser Jazz was quite good. 2022. Like I said, I'm back in Andor, folks, back in the game. I take back all the shit talking about Star Wars Andor. I'm watching it and it's really good again. so good, in fact, that I might download and watch. I mean, legally stream Rogue One again to get the gist of that, because I'm all about legal streaming, folks. Disney Plus, please don't come after me. Like I said, I'm down with the lizard people. Lizard people are down with me. So, my heart rate's at 100 and we're 11 minutes in. But, like I said, nice casual, sweet. Yes, definitely watch it. It's cool. It's like, I mean, Pinhead's female. Like, you know, it's like they've still tried to cater for the woke crowd, but they've done it pretty well. You know, the protagonist is this female chick. Like I said, Pinhead's a female character. But I mean, you know, that makes sense to me because I can imagine hell is going to be populated with mainly females. That's just a joke, folks, just trying to keep you stirred up and rattling those cages on a Friday night. Of course, excuse me, of course, hell is going to be mainly occupied by men. I don't think there's any question about that. Anyway, let's get some squats out, folks. Like I said, think of a surf. You can even go side to side. Really think of how you can use this. Like I said, I'm kidding. If you're going to bump into anyone in hell, folks, yours truly is going to be there. You'll be like, Dave, what are you doing here? You're like, I run this place. This is my dominion. Hey, Pinhead, how's it going, man? Get out of my office. Anyway. So yeah, I looked at that DNA service. I'll be interested in checking out that band. Had a good motocross ride, like I said today. Cowboys from Hell was coming in and started to dial it back a bit, which was good. Need to get some plastics on my bike, but that's good. Townsville and Garage, check it out. Everything is going well there. Beetle is going well. I didn't run today, so that's why I've got to redeem myself, folks, and do a few more squats myself. Keep it cracking, but I did my outside studio. Dave, that's right, Mr. Beelzebub. And it will help me for active recovery as well. If you don't want to go for broke and you're tired already, that is fine. You're not competing against me, folks. You're competing against the Twitch stream bot. No, just joking. Well, you are. Just so if you haven't noticed, it collects time and points, and the more points you do, the more time you get, the more prizes you'll accumulate. Now, our 2020-2021 winner, Jazz in the house, all he got is a crappy t-shirt, so we've got to hit him up for something better than that soon. Still trying to think. We'll find something cool, Jazz. We'll find something. Maybe an all-expenses trip for you and your wife up to Townsville. How does that sound? No, nothing to do with the fringe benefits of me being able to hang out with my friends or nothing like that. Anyway, let's get breathing. And I looked at some products from Rode. See, I use... Man, I should shill for these people and make some money. Rode is an Australian microphone company that I use. This is a wireless Rode that sends it back to my Blackmagic Artem switcher Mini Pro, which is really cool. I need a different one that plugs into your iPhone, so instead of it only transmitting out, it's like a little digital interface for the phone, sort of like a Jazz, you use a UR22 or 2044 like me. And Ben, I'm not sure what interface you're using with Ableton, but you know, they make interfaces for phones now. So you plug it in, it has a high ohm output for headphones and 2 mic inputs where I can then plug the receiver of this transmitter in. So I can use it outside without hearing up the road from the Bruce Highway. There's a Harley Davidson dealership across the road, like 150 meters as the crow flies from here. So it can be pretty noisy, and that's why if I've got this lanyard mic like I have now, it might be a little bit better for those sessions. Behringer. Mate, never speak ill of the German products. They've come a long way. I can remember like 20 years ago, Behringer used to be a bit of a four-letter word, but they've gotten a lot quieter and the builds have gotten a lot better over the years. So I'd like to check out some of their stuff actually. I had a few compressors and limiters from them back in the day. You know, like anything, there's good and the bad. Yamaha make the UR44 that I use, and the UR22 I think it is that Jazz uses. UR22 Mark III maybe, or Mark II, I can't remember which one you had. And just means you'll get a quieter recording, better preamps for mics, but Mark II, yeah, I had the Mark I and then I cooked it, so I got the UR44. I'm not sure if it's Mark anything. Yeah, mate, Yamaha is that company where every pro musician you speak to is like, okay, you could spend $4,000 on a Fender bass, or you could spend $600 on a Yamaha bass that's the same quality, you know, like. And funnily enough, some trivia for you tonight, folks. On the the Illuminati, no, on the logo for Yamaha, there's a tuning fork, right? So even on their motorcycles and stuff, their logo has a tuning fork on it because they started as a precision sound company. So I thought that's always interesting. They make awesome amps. I used to have all my hi-fi amps used to be Yamaha, and same deal, like as good as Harman Kardon and Bose and all those people back in the day. So quality stuff. Awesome motorbikes as well. Holy hell, Yamaha makes some awesome bikes. Not as good as Husqvarna, folks. I need to be like Wayne's World Husqvarna t-shirt, road cap. I should start getting paid, mate. People should start giving me money for me to talk about their products that I will use anyway. Well, I don't think that's a good deal for them. Anyway, pianos, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Spend $100,000 on a Steinway, or spend $2,000 on a baby grand from Yamaha, and it'll sound exactly the same. All right, I'm sweating. I put on the air conditioner a little bit late. Did I go up and get a kebab and speed back to get here in time? Yes, I did. Now, do I feel bad about it? No, I don't. The dogs came up like I had an affair and were sniffing at me and wanted to know where I'd been. And obviously I was up at the kebab shop getting a chicken kebab with garlic and chili sauce. And I'm sweating it out now, folks, for leaving the air conditioner on. So at 90 BPM, I've been slacking off on this Friday, 20 minutes in. So I'm going to do 50 squats. Do whatever you've got and take a break in between, and then we'll call it quits. And then I'm going to go and stream legally on my legal Disney Plus subscription, Rogue One. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, that's one set of 10 repetitions. Bodybuilders will do, say, 5 to 10 sets and certain, amount of repetitions in between, and maybe a minute off. I like to take 3 minutes between sets, because if you're really going for volume, you want to reoxygenate the blood as much as possible. Especially somebody like me who's breathing so much, take a load off. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We're not trying to beat anybody in the race today to squats. We're trying to make this an endurance over the course of your life to improve the quality of your life and improve on your performance yesterday. That's it, folks. We're not here to beat LeBron James in basketball. We're not here to be better surfer than Laura Never, or who's Stephanie Gilmore got the surfing world championship again this year. Top in Lane Beach, see, Australian chicks kicking ass at surfing. Unfortunately, nobody's ever going to be as good as King Kelly. I figured if I can't surf like King Kelly, I can look like him. Unbelievable, 11-time world champion. I'd put him up there with one of the best athletes in the world ever. because surfing's pretty competitive. Japan, Brazil, Indonesia, Malaysia, Australia, South Africa, Hawaii, Europe, the States, like so many different countries surf now. Kelly Slater kicks ass. Watching him surf is insane. Anyway, like I said, I'm a kook, so maybe I can just look like him. Until I can get access to the Yeppoon wave pool made by Mark Occhilupo, another Australian former world champion, that would be cool. Now, if your legs are burning and cramping, just take a load off. It doesn't matter. As you can see, I'm even sweating, and I do these every day of my life, which is what I also tell people. How long do you have to exercise, folks? Every day for the rest of your life. That's why you've got to re-engage how you think about it, from being, oh, I've got to exercise, to this is the best thing that happens in my day. I mean, let's not beat around the bush here, folks. This is the best thing that happens in your day, is watching me. I mean, let's be honest here. Like I said, you can't argue with facts, folks. Oh, 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Really greasing that groove. Even I can feel my coordination improving on this over time. So it's something that will take time, and like music or surfing or golf, 10,000 hours to mastery, and then it just keeps on going, folks. So I'll do 2 more sets. Looking forward to Rogue One. Hassling the hounds. Was wrestling with Keith before. Slapping his flank. He doesn't like it when you slap him there on the flank, so I'll always be like, I'm going to slap your flank, Keith, and he's like, and, hopefully the RSPCA is not watching this, but he loves it. I've got a rope bone as well, and I get down the ground and give it back, how dare you, give it back, and you're shaking it, and you just lock jaws down and start squealing, and Dale's like, I don't want anything to do with this, boss, and just goes into the corner, and you look over him and his tail wags like, Keith gets a bit too serious for me when he's playing with the bone with me. So Dale's a pacifist, he's a brother of peace, so he doesn't want anything to do with that. Anyway, there'll be more dog action on the outside studio because they like to have a mosey out and see what's going on. 20 more, folks, and heart rate's only 90 BPM, so it's because I've been talking too much. S-H-I-T, ladies and gents. Breathe. I didn't do my cold plunge today. Maybe I should jump in it now. I usually put on my Sam Harris 10 minutes, 1 degree Celsius in my esky. My mother dearest who's watching this is worried that the esky lid is the freezer lid's gonna close on me, resulting in my frozen throne death. But I tried it with somebody over. Mum, I can open it from the inside, so it doesn't matter. But it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Call me Harry Houdini. No, he died. Call me the guy who got out of the esky, the guy who got out of the freezer. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more, and then money in the bank in less than 30 minutes. This is one of the biggest squat sessions that I've ever done online. A clown is only a clown with an audience. I know that my uncle and my mother's here, so I'm talking more garbage as normal. Then I usually rattle off, which is saying something, but I'm just showing them the importance of daily training, which they know of. My uncle's a weapon, still sailing, going hard. Double my age, folks. So, like I said, you might think you're going to Janis Joplin out or Jimi Hendrix peace out, Kurt Cobain 27 Club. The reality is no. Only the good die young, as my father told me. You're probably going to be extremely old, folks. So when you're old, do you want to be fetal and screwed up, or do you want to be like the two esteemed elderly people watching this who are still fit and healthy beyond their 70s. I know where I want to be, folks, because if I'm injured and not working, like a quote that I came up with today and put in Facebook, your body doesn't work if you don't work it, right? It's that simple. Your brain and your body does not work unless you do this. 10 more for me, folks. Go and have your protein, branched chain amino acids, have some steak, have some whatever it is, lentils even have vegetable protein. Not quite the same, but I digress. And get to it, folks. Get back to work. Sorry, Ben. No weekend for you yet. Weekend for everyone else. But if you're like me, 7-day weekend plus 7-day working week. I love what I do, so I do it every day. 10 more, and let's get out of here. 1, 2, back into your heels. Breathe in. Really strengthen these muscles, folks. This should be such a coordinated, really, really comfortable groove that you should get in, folks. It should be very easy. You should be able to support your body weight in a coordinated fashion. And breathe. I really enjoyed motocross riding today, but I still think this is my preferred thing that I did today. I really enjoyed this. I love you guys, as always. Ben and Jazz, really cool to see you in here. I really want to see you guys get results, which you will if you just donate that 15 to 30 minutes a day here with me, and it's data for me. Awesome, Ben. Take it easy, folks. Thanks for watching, and have a good weekend. I'll see you tomorrow if you're around. Good night.